over the top with pledged delegates. A huge night for Hillary Clinton. Joining me now with more on what we've seen tonight, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, a former Republican presidential candidate himself, and a Donald Trump supporter. Governor, great to see you tonight. So let's just speak about the Trump speech tonight, because many are calling this the beginning of the Trump pivot to the presidential Trump, to the one who brings more people in, as opposed to alienating certain factions. Do you agree?
I do agree. And in fact, some of the so-called Republican leaders probably got a little off the train too soon. If they'd seen that speech tonight, they would have recognized that Donald Trump is very capable of getting right back to the message that made him the nominee, talking about how the system is rigged and jobs have disappeared, our trade deals haven't worked, America's getting the short end of the stick, and Americans across this country are sick of watching Russian fighters fly over our Navy destroyers within 30 feet just as a way to say we can do it. They want America to be strong. They want America to win. They believe Donald Trump can make that happen. And whatever squabbles he has with the judge are absolutely insignificant compared to the squabbles they have with the very Republicans that have screwed up their country.
Well, you know, nonetheless, that we're hearing, calls, as you heard Carl Cameron report, from the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell for Trump to apologize for what he said about Judge Curiel, dismissing him as incapable of giving him a fair hearing in the Trump University fraud case because of his heritage. And Paul Ryan, House today, came out and said this. Listen to him on Trump.
Claiming a person can't do their job because of their race is sort of like the textbook definition of a racist comment. I think that should be absolutely disavowed. It's absolutely unacceptable.
Should Trump apologize?
No, not unless he wants to. And look, anybody that calls Donald Trump as a racist, that's nonsense. I mean, there's not a thing
they were
in his
saying
life
these are
that he has
racist comments.
ever shown.
But are these racist comments that he has made?
I don't think so. I really don't. I think, you know what we have? We have, once again, the chattering class of the Washington press corps. When one of them goes out and says something, they all start saying the same thing. It's like a bunch of parrots repeating what somebody else said. Rarely do you see an independent voice that says, as I look at this, this is a civil matter. Donald Trump maybe should probably have focused more on things like he focused on tonight. But to make this something that we tear our garments into and act like it's the end of the world, Megyn, that's nonsense. I tell you what bothers me.
But, Governor, how is it not racist to say, how is it not a racist statement to say that the judge is incapable of giving a fair hearing simply because his parents are from Mexico?
I think the issue, and what Donald Trump probably should have done, is to talk about the fact that his affiliation with the La Raza legal group makes it suspect whether he has some built-in liberal biases. I think it's more about liberalism and political ideology.
Judge, Governor, you know very well that a judge can be liberal or conservative and give anybody a fair hearing.
Sure.
A judge is not required to check his or her political affiliation before taking the bench. You know that, sir.
Sure. And I also know, because I've been through a lot of courtrooms and a lot of judges when I was governor, because you get sued all the time. And I also know, Megyn, that sometimes you get hauled up before a judge who has a political agenda. And to deny
there's no proof that this judge is
somehow,
such a
when
judge.
they put the robe on, that they are suddenly above it all? Nonsense. You know that, and I know that that's just not true.
There's no proof. What specifically has he done that suggests he has a political agenda against Donald Trump? Which, by the way, this case was filed long before Donald Trump announced for president. Long before. It was back in 2010.
Yeah. Honestly, I've not spent a whole lot of time digging through the details of thousands of pages of litigation.
So then shouldn't you be more careful about impugning the integrity of a sitting federal court judge?
I'm not impugning his integrity. Here's what I'm saying. Donald Trump has a right to defend himself. He's been accused of defrauding people. I don't think he's defrauded people.
Agreed. He has every right to go out there and say this judge is unfair and disagree with the rulings. What I'm asking you about is different comments, the ones that got him in trouble. This isn't Megyn Kelly making this up. This is Donald Trump, who said it 7 times over the weekend, that the judge can't be fair because he's Hispanic, because his parents came from Mexico.
I just think people have been a lot harder on Donald Trump for something that has nothing to do with him being a public official and getting taxpayer money than they have on Hillary Clinton, who under taxpayer-funded authority probably did something that was not a civil issue but a criminal issue, and that has a whole lot more impact upon whether there's a fitness to be president than anything Donald Trump has ever said or done. And I just don't think there's been a balance about that at all.
And Donald Trump has said that he's going to give a speech, I think, on Monday, addressing what he says are the issues with Hillary Clinton and the Clintons in general. So we'll look forward to hearing that. Governor, great to see you, sir.
Thanks.